So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus versus Pixel 2 honest feelings. Now in this video, I'm going to share with you my honest take on both of these devices and which is the better buy. We're going to break this down right now. So let's begin by talking about the design and the build. That's the first thing you're going to notice when you do buy either a Galaxy S9 Plus or a Pixel 2 XL. And I can tell you right now, honestly, when you pick up the Galaxy S9 Plus, this phone feels more your money than the Pixel 2 XL. Now, don't get me wrong. The Pixel 2 XL, while it is an aluminum build, that aluminum build on the back does not feel like aluminum. It feels like plastic. It feels like a hardened plastic. So just keep that in mind. The glass up at the top is nice. It's a polarizing design, though. It's questionable. You're going to look at this a few times and be like, I don't know what to think about this design. I kind of like it. It's unique, but I'm not exactly sure. But with the S9, it's tried and true, curved display, and it has, premium glass on the rear. It feels like the money you paid for it, while the Pixel 2, it's questionable with that, rear back. It could have felt, glass to make it for wireless charging. They could have made it, the actual aluminum and not like this plasticky feel. But I understand why Google went this route. They probably went this route for more functional durability. And, because like if you drop this rear on the Pixel 2 XL, you'll probably just dent it a little bit. But if you drop the rear on the Galaxy S9 Plus, it's over with. But at the end of the day, design and build automatically, I definitely feel like you're going to be happier with an S9 Plus when it comes to just feeling like you got your money's worth if you buy the S9 Plus over the Pixel 2 XL. That brings me on to weight and ergonomics. Now, the Pixel 2 XL is actually a lighter phone than the Galaxy S9 Plus, but it doesn't feel that way when you're actually ergonomically handling this phone, and I'll tell you why. The Galaxy S9 Plus has a better balance than the Pixel 2 XL, I feel like. The way it rests in your hand and the curved display makes it sit in the hand easier than the wider Pixel 2 XL. Now, they're about the same exact height, but the width of the Pixel 2 XL makes it feel more like a Galaxy Note 8. It's a little more awkward to hold, in my opinion, than the Galaxy S9 Plus. Now, it's a little bit shorter than a Note 8, and it's around the same height as this phone here on the left, the S9 Plus. But at the end of the day, I think ergonomically speaking, I feel like the S9 Plus is a better phone to handle on the day-to-day when you're just using it in one hand. It's easier to hold than the Pixel 2 XL, mostly due to that curved display. So they went with a, they kind of just curved the corners, but at the end of the day, the Pixel 2 XL has chunkier bezels, and it's not really a true curved display. They just kind of curved the corners here. It's a flat display with slightly curved corners, and it does have a slight dip on the edges that kind of make it look curved, but at the end of the day, the true curved display here and the true ergonomic champ is the Galaxy S9 Plus, in my opinion. So let's get on to display qualities. What are my honest feelings about display? So the display on the Galaxy S9 Plus it's incredible. It's probably the best display you can get on any smartphone right now. You don't need me to tell you that. You've probably heard it a million times already. But to be honest with you, it's true. It's not just a rumor. If you pick this phone up, you're really going to enjoy this display. It has so many, variables. Like you can tweak it like to your potential. You have the Samsung theme store, which gives you all these wallpapers built in, but Google's got some nice wallpapers as well. But really, it's the fact that it's very well calibrated. You can tweak it to your liking, and it's probably the brightest OLED display you can get right now. Samsung reserves the best for their phones only. Over here on this LG P OLED display, I'm very happy that Google finally brought their saturated mode, because that has changed the game for the Pixel 2 XL, and it's now comparable to a Samsung Galaxy S9 display, for example, if you have it in saturation mode. So if I go into colors, you can see I'm in saturated mode right now. Now, the Pixel 2, a lot of people want to know, if you didn't see my honest feelings video about this phone on its own, it does have a little bit of a blue tint if you go on extreme angles. But I'm gonna tell you right now, in the day-to-day, you're not even gonna notice that unless you're actually looking for it. People are overblowing the Pixel 2 XL display and acting like it's the worst thing to planet Earth. The iPhone 8 and 8 Plus have worse displays than the Pixel 2 XL when it comes to sharpness and clarity. So, and also they don't have OLED displays either, yet a lot of people are still buying the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, and they don't say much about that display, but they're gonna pick on the Pixel 2 XL just because it has a slight blue shift. You're still getting a 2K panel right here that's OLED, so you still get punchy colors if you have it in saturation mode, and you can get natural colors, which Google was going for their photography on this phone, but not everybody's a photographer, so when you have it on this basic mode, you can tell it just looks bland. But I'm telling you, the saturated mode on the Pixel 2 XL has changed the game for this phone, and it's now comparable to a Samsung device, but it's still not quite there. So the Galaxy S9 series is an easy win when it comes to the display quality. But if you don't like, curved displays, you might accidentally press them, or you don't like the slight distortion you get sometimes on the curve, there's not too much here on the S9 Plus, then you're gonna like the flatter panel of the Pixel 2 XL. And I wanna mention, if you're the type of person who likes a more natural display overall, like you don't like very vibrant colors, you always have your Galaxy series phones in their basic or AMOLED cinema or photo mode, you might actually like the Pixel 2 display actually more than a Samsung display. Just keep that in mind. Also, I think it was really nice that they threw in these awesome wallpapers for the Pixel 2, these living wallpapers. The Pixel 2 XL has some of the best wallpaper choices on any smartphone right here, I think. There's just so many awesome wallpapers that come with this phone. Just a small thing I did like about this device. So let's quickly discuss the software differences between the two. So you know that with the Samsung device, you're getting the TouchWiz experience with a bunch of Samsung features thrown on top. Over here on the right, you're getting Android 8.1 Oreo stock, clean Android. And this is really going to come down to personal preference, but let me put it this way. It's minimalism here versus features. Minimalism versus features. Think about, some conservative vehicles, or if you like cars, think about cars. If you find a car that's got more simple but less features, but it runs really well, that's the Pixel 2 XL. The Galaxy S9 is that car with a bunch of high-tech features. It's just got a ton of stuff. You're going to be finding features for it later. So you got to decide, am I a minimalist type person? Do I like easy, fast, efficient, smooth, and I don't want to deal with new stuff? I just want to have it work the way it's simple to use? You're going to want the Pixel 2 XL. Or are you a person who's like, nah, man, I want everything I can get, all the bells and whistles on my phone? You want the Galaxy S9 Plus, guaranteed. So let's talk about the performance difference. Now, I'll do a proper speed test if enough people request it on these two devices, but we're talking about a Snapdragon 845 over here on the left versus a 835 on the right. Now, that's not the big difference between these devices. The big difference actually resides in the RAM. We have 6 gigs of RAM on the S9 Plus, and we have 4 gigs of RAM on the Pixel 2 XL. And I find that that's really what makes the difference. The Galaxy S9 surprisingly actually has better performance than the Pixel 2 XL when it comes to just raw power, because it can open more applications than the Pixel 2 and keep them open in the rear. Now, when it comes to the single apps, like just the first apps you're going to open, the Pixel 2 can beat the S9 in a lot of areas. But where the Pixel 2 cannot shine over the S9 Plus is when you have a bunch of apps open, it will reload stuff after you have a lot open. But what I will say is that for a Snapdragon 835 CPU, the Pixel 2 XL runs it better than any other Snapdragon 835 CPU phone on the market. So this is quite close to the 845, mostly due to the optimization of Android 8.1 Oreo and just being Google's hardware and software here. So this is the best running 835 phone on the market. Again, if you want to see a proper speed test between these two, go ahead and drop your comments down below. If I get a bunch of comments, we will consider doing that one. So I can't make a review like this and take on these phones without talking about their battery life. Now, this one's tricky because both of these have pretty good battery life. Both are well over 3,000 milliamp hour batteries. So they both have great battery life. I find the Pixel 2 XL to drain a little bit slower than the S9 Plus and to get a slightly better battery life when it comes to just, when you're actually using the device. I find the Galaxy S9 can definitely get you through the day, but without its power saving modes and when it's in 2K resolution, it cannot beat the Pixel 2 XL. So I find the Pixel 2 XL to have slightly better battery life than the S9 Plus, but the charging is actually faster on the S9 Plus. Plus you have wireless charging on the S9 Plus, and it's not that much different in the real world. I find like there's only like a 30 minutes difference. So both of these are going to get you through the day, but if you want slightly better battery life, you're going to want the Pixel 2 XL. This is probably happening mostly due to, again, the optimizations of Google's software and hardware here, making for great battery life on the Pixel 2 XL. So that's my take on their battery life, but neither of these are like weak battery. Both of these are really good. So either one you go with, you're not getting a bad battery life phone. A lot of people have been saying the S9 doesn't have great battery life. I don't know what they're talking about. I'm easily getting through a full day with this one, but I'm just going a little bit further on the Pixel 2 XL. one you're probably really thinking about is the cameras. Come on, Nick, get to the main thing I want to know about, the cameras between these phones. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on all of the hardware. You guys know that this one is offering you software tricks to make your photos beautiful on the Pixel 2 XL, and the Galaxy S9 is doing hardware tricks with the aperture on the rear going from f1.5 to 2.4, changing the game in low light. And that's pretty much what I've noticed. I think that the Galaxy S9 shoots a little bit cooler photos where you get a little bit more realistic and warm photos over here on the Pixel 2 XL. But at nighttime, the Galaxy S9 is actually the better phone. It shoots sharper photos, and the Pixel 2 XL, it does also shoot good photos, but you just get a little more detail with that f1.5 on the Galaxy S9 Plus. So I'm not just going to talk about the photos. Take a look at some of these samples right now. All right, guys, so one area of the S9 Plus where it just stomps all over audio department, specifically when you have Dolby Atmos checked on. I mean, it's ridiculously louder than the Pixel 2. Even though the Pixel 2 actually has front-firing speakers, they don't do enough in terms of loudness to beat the S9 Plus. So let's go ahead and open up one of my videos here, and I'm gonna turn this thing up. Wow.
Galaxy S9 Plus with an all-new variable aperture camera. This is Nick here, and here is your full review coming up right now. Let's go.
Very loud there for the S9 Plus. What about the Pixel 2 XL? It's pretty loud, but not quite as loud.
Galaxy S9 Plus with an all-new variable aperture camera. This is Nick here, and here is your full review coming up right now. Let's go.
So you can see the S9 Plus is a louder speaker than the Pixel 2 XL. And one area a lot of people don't like to discuss, but I like to discuss this because I found this to be significantly better on the S9 Plus, and that is the phone call quality, especially the speakerphone. Speakerphone calls, the Pixel 2 XL, but it doesn't sound good. I've heard multiple people tell me, I cannot hear you, bro, I cannot hear you. And this could be a deal breaker for some people. If you're really into phone calling a lot, the Pixel 2 XL really dropped the ball on this one, and Google needs to improve this on their next phone. Both my small Pixel 2 XL, or both my small Pixel 2 and the XL here, both have phone call issues. So the Galaxy S9 crushes the Pixel 2 in this regard. Some other things I want to discuss is that you don't get IP68 on the Pixel 2 XL, whereas you get IP68 on this device. You get IP67, so it's water resistant versus kind of like waterproof. Well, not fully waterproof, but you can just submerge it longer. Which one is the winner? I know this one could easily be a tie because they both have, you know, different strengths and weaknesses, but we have to pick a winner at the end of the day. And the overall winner here is the Galaxy S9 Plus, and I'll tell you why. While the Pixel 2 XL does have definitely an attractive software, one that you really probably might like more than what Galaxy is offering you, Samsung has hit all the marks as a total package of a smartphone here with the S9 Plus, meaning their display doesn't have no real issues. They don't have no real issues with phone call quality like the Pixel 2 XL. The camera is definitely comparable. The Pixel 2 is no longer crushing the competition like totally. The Galaxy S9 Plus, some people will like the camera more than the Pixel 2 XL. It has better low light photography. The battery life is about even, and Samsung has been pushing out updates. Whether they're late or not, they're still pushing out updates, at least 2 of them. And I would argue that if you're using an Android device, within 2 to 3 years, you're going to upgrade anyway. So this whole argument about the Pixel 2 XL being a long-term phone, it definitely will last longer when it comes to updates. But really, by the time, 2-3 years passes, I'm sure you're going to upgrade your device anyway. But if I had to drop one of these devices on the table and say, you know what, I can only rock out with one phone for the foreseeable future, it would be the S9 Plus, mostly because of its feature set, and it just has an overall feeling. They really paid attention to every single thing the user wants to have on this device. We didn't even mention they have a headphone jack like the Pixel 2 XL doesn't either. If you found this video helpful, enjoyable, entertaining, informing, do me a favor, click that like button for me. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more tech videos like this. Make sure to have notifications turned on so you don't miss any of the upcoming updates. I'll catch you on the next one. Be sure to be well. Nick here. Peace.